Hey everyone, welcome to the daily analysis for today, October 3rd. Today I'm really excited to give you today's analysis because I think there are some great setups in the market today. We're going to go over those. I'm going to show you some things that I'm looking at as far as trend continuation on both the pound yen and the euro pound, because I think there's some continuation potential there that hasn't quite worked out fully yet. So I'm really excited today to tell you about those trade ideas, and we'll get to those in just a minute. Before we jump into that, we need to take a quick look at the news announcements that are going on tomorrow, because as we know, that can play a huge role in some of these trend continuation setups that we're going to talk about. And we're also going to take a quick look at our terms. Alright guys, so for tomorrow we have a lot of red tagged events actually. Starting off with the pound at 7 a.m. there's asset purchase facility and official bank rate, and then a tentative news announcement for the pound as well. All of that is red tag. Then we hit Euro news at 7:45, Euro news at 8:30, and US dollar news at 8:30, CAD news at 10, USD news at 2 p.m., and then Japan news tentative later on. So you can see that there's tons of of announcements going on tomorrow. Should be a pretty interesting day with all this news coming out, and definitely is going to affect some of the trade setups that we'll talk about today. So keep all of that in mind. Make sure that you're aware of all of this going on, because it could definitely make trading interesting tomorrow. Alright guys, and these are our terms that we need to go over quickly. Basically, it just says that we're not licensed or qualified to provide investment advice to you. So pause the video and read through those if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and jump into the analysis. So first up, I have the euro dollar, and as you can see, it's still struggling between the 50 and 38.2 fib level that we talked about. Yesterday's bar might have closed a few pips above it, but obviously being pushed back down towards the end of the day, as we can see. So basically, it's still a waiting game on the euro dollar. There's nothing more to say on this than we already said yesterday and the day before. It's just about getting a strong breakout from one of these sides. So we'll just keep an eye on that and keep waiting on that one. The pound, on the other hand, is finally starting to really make some momentum to the downside, which you can see. It broke right through this 38.2 Feb level, and so now this is actually looking like a very serious spike to the downside on the pound dollar. Now, of course, we have the 50 Fib level here and some other support levels, but it is looking like this thing is trying to finish this reversal move to the downside. So again, what I talked about yesterday was a reversal to the downside makes it a little more tricky, because you never know when it's going to stop and maybe go right back to the trend continuation. Whereas if it bounces right up, then you say, okay, there's a pretty good probability that this thing is continuing in this upward trend. So that makes it a little tricky, but as far as pound weakness goes, I think it's looking pretty obvious right now based on the pound dollar, kind of crashing down below the 38.2 level, below 161. Then, but then you got to remember that all the news tomorrow is going to affect this too. So it's going to be a tricky situation as far as trading the pound dollar, in my opinion. I'm not set on the idea that it is going all the way back down towards the 158 area, and I'm not really set on the idea that it's going to bounce either. So I don't have a strong bias. Plus, there's a ton of news coming out. Should be interesting. Maybe with pound dollar, the best thing to do would be to wait until the news comes out tomorrow, see what's going on there, and then make a decision based on that. The odd dollar is continuing to the downside. You can see that it broke through our little triangle here and is continuing so far. I'm sure that many of you did short this based on the analysis yesterday where I showed the strong break. So it's looking like it's continuing so far. Now, this is going to be a little bit of a level here to get past. It's not a huge level, but it might struggle there. But if this thing continues to break levels, it's unprecedented as far as where it can go. We can see it all the way down here at 97. If it continues to move. So keep an eye on that one. If you're already short, just remember to be wise with your trade management and find that balance of giving it room to go, but also not letting all your profit run away. Okay, I'm still long on the euro pound based on this trend line bounce that we took here. So this thing's moving up. It's not, we haven't had a monster bar like this one to get it to the next high like I'd like to see. But still, it is moving consistently. Looks to be trying to go up towards the higher high here, which is, of course, what I want. So that's looking good so far. If you're not long already, then it might be a little late to jump in long. That kind of depends on your own personal take on that. But still, I do think it's showing pretty good consistency in its movement up. Notice that everyone has come down a little bit, made a little bit of a tail, and then pushed up, which I like to see. So we'll see how this one goes. Tomorrow could be a pretty big day for the euro pound as well. Okay, and the last pair I want to look at today is the pound yen. And this one is another one that we're long on. However, this one's not quite going. It's just been struggling right on this trend line. Been sitting here for quite some time, so it's a little bit struggling, to stay in this trade and be patient. But I'm expecting that it's gonna continue up here. It's off a strong trend line. It's off the horizontal support area. Things are technically lined up well, so I'm thinking and hoping for continuation eventually. Obviously, I'm not sure how long we're gonna have to wait it out, but I'm hoping for a break to the upside relatively soon here to see some continuation. We're up a few pips right now, obviously nothing major. If we get a bar like this, that would certainly put us in good shape. So that's what we're hoping for in the pound yen, and we'll see if that thing ends up showing some strong continuation with the news tomorrow. That'll be another interesting one that the news will affect. Okay, so some good setups going on. I think there's a lot of potential based on the news tomorrow, and we will keep all of that in mind as we trade. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for stopping by for the analysis, and I'll talk to you soon.